Another day, another dollar. I'm happy that we made some money yesterday. Well, I made money. Hopefully, you guys did too.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I was gonna say I'll say this first, not to jump the gun, but the first best bet I had today starts at 111. So if anyone wants
Go
to
ahead.
hop on, I took it yesterday. Spencer Strider, 8 strikeouts and a win. It's like minus 120, and it's so annoying maybe to back these big Cy Young candidate names and big teams as heavy favorites, but he's just been so good in the day. And besides the Mets, who have his number for his whole career, I mean, this guy's just been electric. So
Mhm.
I took that. That's the first game of a doubleheader.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet too. I was gonna bet that yesterday as well, and get. I don't know if I'm getting ahead, but Reese Olson's looked really good actually for the Tigers in a few
Yeah.
appearances. I picked him up in fantasy,
No, he's been great.
and I'm riding with him at this point because I do think that he pitched out of relief the other day against the Phils, but he pitched 5 innings. Came on early and then pitched the rest of the
Yeah.
game there, so he looked really really good. Only giving up 3 hits there. I'm going to continue to ride with him in certain ways, but I do think this is a situation where I would fade the Tigers to what you're saying
Yeah.
with Strider.
I think my thing is it's less of a fan of him, but it's also two things. A, when I took it, it was not supposed to be Olsen. It was supposed to be starting like today at least. It was supposed to be Lorenzen, and then they made that
Yeah,
swap. But I also would have taken it yesterday with Olsen as well, just because, especially now. I mean, this is like a second start. It's such a tough offensive face. Plus, the idea of getting a start, being postponed, getting scratched, re-entered in. Like, I wonder if that's going to maybe affect him a little bit. But I'm not saying he's going to go out there and allow like 40 runs, but I do think it should be a game where the Braves should take
yeah.
this one. Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy. Yeah. So wait, in the chat, people are saying they can't hear Will. Is there a reason for that? Do we know if there's a reason we can't hear Will? Because that was actually the most insightful thing I think I've heard him ever say. I can I can hear
I
you.
can hear you
I know I
well.
can too. Well, while we fix that real quick, I was gonna say since we're talking about teams that have been leading, like the Braves were the other night against the Tigers, that's kind of how I've been feeling about the Cardinals lately. I tried to bet them last night and it didn't work, but they've been consistently winning games and then blowing them. Honestly, over the last like 2 weeks, I think they've had the lead in like 55% of the games that they've played, and they've lost a good majority of those. So it's just like wild to watch that. I mean, it's just live baseball stuff. If they have a 115 start on Wednesday. I think we were complaining recently about lack of day games, but we got them today on Wednesday for sure. Plenty to
Yeah.
look at there. And so I think
And
Jordan Montgomery is a good bet in that one. Oh, you were talking
yeah,
about Thursday, maybe. That's right. You were complaining about
and
Thursday.
even Wednesday. Yeah. And I'll
Yeah.
say this, I'm even upset about the Wednesday because even like especially no NBA, I was like hoping they would explore it more. But this is like another bad Wednesday one where it's 3 at 1 and then the rest are at 7. They used to like every other Wednesday has been like 1, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing. Like I will say baseball is making it so hard for them to gain traction with the way they're
Yeah.
doing their scheduling. I mean, this is the chance they have is this week to kind of explore that. And they kind of dropping the ball a little bit.
I just can't wait till the Rays are back on the East Coast.
Yeah, all right. The A's are the best team in the MLB right.
Bro, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
what's interesting is like they had the reverse boycott last night where everybody was
Yeah.
going. What's sad is that like there's 32,000 seats available in a stadium that once held like near 70 because of the way they close it off. And
yeah,
then there was like 27,000 people, whatever, big showing, great time, I'm sure. But that was the exact same time that the bill passed in Nevada that was allowing them to
yep,
now actually buy the team. There's like one more sort of round
Yeah.
of sort of oversight that needs to get done by an assembly out there, and then they're probably in Vegas. So I don't know. I don't know what the 7 wins in a row is about, but it's all happening at once, and it feels weird as hell.
It's
yeah,
just so funny too because it's like, and the Knights just won the Stanley Cup. Like
Yeah,
Vegas they have the Aces who won. They have the Knights who won. Now the A's are if the A's can finish the season hot, even if they move to Vegas, like I feel like that's just massive for Vegas. Sorry for Oakland fans. I'm sorry,
Tough
but
time.
it's time
Yeah.
to move, you know.
Tough time.
No, yeah, and I just to comment back to you, Will, to kind of connect it. If someone, because just because didn't hear you, they mentioned that the games at the start we have the Strider 8 and a win, and Will mentioned the under 4.5 for the first 5. So I wanted to make sure that was clear because you didn't hear Will earlier. I hope we fixed it. Did we fix it? I hope we fixed it. I hope we fixed it right there.
Yeah, we'll see if he.
Will said thanks to the audience. He's really grateful to have.
Well,
you
while
guys
we
on
wait
the
for
show.
Will, then I could go into my sleeper play.
Thank goodness Will was muted because he would get canceled so fast for all that stuff he just said.
All right, here we go. Let me go into my sleeper play. I did Valdez from the Astros under 18.5 outs against the Nationals. I just think that it's 18.5 so much because of how great he's been pitching. But like one thing about the Nationals is they have a top 10 batting average and like their top half on base percentage. They like a lot of people, you know, just kind of forget like they might be a crappy team, but they get on base, which can stretch a couple of these innings. All it takes is a few, and I mean, a great outing for a pitcher is 18 outs. You know,
just to jump in, I just want to make sure my audio is working. You guys can hear me.
Yeah, we're good.
I can hear you.
The audience didn't hear this, but I just wanted to say I appreciate everyone who listens, and we have the best audience, and just nothing but praise for all you.
That's exactly.
I relayed your message. Don't worry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and I'll wrap up with, and the other leg is Josiah Gray over 1.5 walks. I think he's just gonna be doing a lot of pitching around this Astros lineup, which gives me 2 walks. It pays. The other play, we still have time. Oh no, the other play already started. I was gonna try to say I did a 3-legger, but the other play already started. So that's $10 to win 25, 2.5 times your money.
Yeah, I like that. And if you need another leg too, I mean, I wanted to bring this up before we go into awards, just kind of talk about the slate as a whole. Is anyone a little weirded out that you can get the Texas Rangers team total at 2.5 for the first 5 today? I kind of just been playing it against every single time they play a lefty.
Detmers?
Yeah, it's 2.5 minus 120 on DraftKings for first 5 runs.
Yeah,
I was gonna take Detmers over 2.5 earned runs. I guess that's the same thing.
Detmers has a 5 earned run on the road.
Unless you think he's gonna go longer than 5, yeah.
Yeah, but like it's also like you almost save the juice, but they're hitting over 300 against lefties, and there's 3 teams right now that if they're playing lefty, I almost just immediately look into their team total, and it's them, and then it's like the Nationals because they're really just mashing lefties, and same with the Rays, and I'm
Cardinals
shocked.
are good too. Cardinals are good.
Yeah, but the Cardinals are also just bipolar, and they make me upset.
Yes.
So
they're banana.
But yeah, that's like the one spot where I saw
bet.
it. Yeah, and I saw it. I haven't bet it yet, but I just like, you know, when I was doing my prep for the show, and I was just like, oh, I wonder what this is, because I always do my due diligence against lefties, and 2.5 minus 120 just feels off.
Yeah, Reed Detmers is bad, like straight up bad. He's already gotten mashed by the Rangers this year as well. In early May, I believe he's got like up to 5.4 ERA right now. When he's playing the Rangers as well. So like, there's nothing to like about him right now. I'm taking him in every way possible.
Minus 115. I see it right here.
Offense maybe. And is someone listening to the show who's making these odds? Because I feel like this has happened a couple times now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying. No, I'm saying it was minus 120. Now it's minus 115.
Oh, it's going in our direction. Hell yeah! I don't. Why would
I don't understand? I think it's like yesterday. I saw with Jordan Lyles, everyone was betting his 2.5 earned runs, and I was like, that's a little sketchy. Why is it that low? And then he came out and allowed like 42 runs in the first inning, and I was like, oh, maybe it was just a good bet. So I think that's a good look for the Rangers tonight.
Agreed.
Olsen with a quick 1-2-3 here. So the Braves go down in order. The other games are about to start. Couple games, probably the key game here, and doesn't have the same juice because Judge is hurt and Alonso's hurt, but Verlander versus Cole, a Houston Astros family reunion here. How are you guys looking at this? Because Verlander got rocked his last time versus the Braves, but then you have on the other side this Yankee lineup. They scored some runs last night, but without Judge, they haven't been able to score. So you guys have any thoughts here? Cole versus Verlander, a fun game here tonight.
I'm a Mets fan, man. I'm not betting on them ever again for the rest of my life. 9 of 10 now. Max Scherzer is clearly 38 years old. Justin Verlander's 47, whatever. However, what are we doing? Like,
Scherzer looked like he was turning a corner too. He had 5 or 6 really good starts in a row.
All of his velocity's down. His swinging strikes are nowhere to be found.
Yep.
So if you're gonna play a team without Judge and you can't get a ball past a bat, like, then we're not gonna beat the Yankees without Judge, which is like impotent offense without Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I think it's also funny where one of my close friends, he took the under in the first 5, I think like 4.5, and there's something like every 2 seconds I was getting a text from him because I couldn't watch the game, but every 2 seconds he was like, "Are you kidding me? God damn!" He's like, "Another walk," and I was like, I checked the score, and it was like 6-6, and I was like, "What's going on?"
The whole game, there was 2 guys on base from the start to the finish, so like it was impossible to play. And tonight, like, I would just not even necessarily fading Verlander. I'm just like, the Yanks at home, Big Brother, blah blah blah.
It's
at home.
Yeah,
they're still at home. I mean, if you heard like Citi Field may be better than Shea in terms of bringing Mets fans over Yanks fans in this Subway Series, but like it's still just chock full.
So you're betting the Yankees tonight or no play?
Yeah, I'm betting on Cole. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it under either.
Heck yes.
But I know that the minute that I bet on the Yanks and the Mets win, so that's why I said I'm not betting on the Mets anymore. But if you're asking me for one, I'm taking Cole with what everything tells me.
Since you're a Mets fan too, Mets minus 180 to miss the playoffs, plus 150 to make it at DraftKings. Either of those intrigue you? I kind of think, I know it's a bad time to say. I still feel like there's enough talent there where they're going to rally, they're going to play better, and they're going to get to like 86 wins and get in.
They're getting nothing from guys at the same time. Like finally Castro started to hit a little bit, but Lindor took a backseat the last couple of days, and then obviously we don't know what's going on with Alonso. Like minus 180 is not a great price, but if I were to bet it right this minute, it's definitely not making the playoffs because I don't trust the pitching and the hitting is so sporadic. I just don't know. I'm getting there.
How about Brian? How about your squad, the Phillies? They're basically minus 115, minus 110 either way to make the playoffs. Do you think they'll make it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the key is not necessarily make the bet now. It's going to be how do they play in July? Because in June, this offense comes together in June. But
we're doing the show now, so you have to decide now.
I know. I would say yes, but my only worry is that this team. The only thing is they don't have a 5th starter. I mean, every 5 games, they're just accepting they're going to lose. They put up 8 runs 2 games ago, and they lost because they just accepted that we don't have a 5th starter. Our bullpen guys that we use in these opening situations are downright awful. You can't be putting up 8 runs and losing every 5 days. Like it's not an ideal situation to be doing that.
Yeah, it's just the only thing is like I have bets on them on under wins to miss the playoffs. I am worried a little bit that just the NL is so bad, so they're going to get in. Like I don't know that I trust the Marlins to do this for 162. The NL Central's not getting a wild card. The West, the Padres are a mess. All right, you give the Diamondbacks or Dodgers, the loser of that division gets a spot, but eventually you run out of spots, especially if the Mets aren't going to be good. How about the Reds at 10-1 to win the NL Central at DraftKings? They are now only 10-1.
Ellie De La Cruz goes over 3, and the Reds drop to 10-1 to win the division. Basically, like I still like it.
The Tigers with an early 1-0 lead.
Will, what are the
he
Cardinals
crushed that ball too?
Yeah.
Let me see here. Brad just said Wizards are looking for a Beal trade. Interesting. That doesn't surprise me.
Shams just dropped that.
That does not surprise me. I don't know what you're going to get back for him because his contract's awful and he misses a lot of games. He's a good player. He's not a great player, but let's see here. NL Central odds, DraftKings. Reds are 10-1. They are the long shot. Brewers minus 120. Pirates in first place at plus 450. Cardinals plus 550. Cubs plus 650. Reds are 10-1.
The Cardinals, like the Cardinals are making a surge. Like they've lost 15 or 16 one-run games this season. Like I said, they've had the lead in more than half of their games over the last few weeks and lost a lot of those. And Arenado's back. Like it was partly based on the fact that the first like month and a half he was a shell. In the last month or so, he's just completely mashing. I would definitely consider. I don't know that it's going to get better for the Cardinals in terms of the price at this point. That would be where I would probably lean it right now.
Anything for you, Brian? Boy, he smoked. Was it Torkelson that smoked that ball?
Yeah.
My
Sorry,
goodness.
I was.
Brian admitted before the show
that'd
when
be
he's
fun.
got money on 1 p.m. games, he's checked out. Just so you guys know. You're gonna have to get it back.
No, well, yeah, that's basically what's going on right now.
taking
Yeah.
Let me see
He'll
here.
he'll rebound. He'll rebound. I believe
Tiafoe,
this right.
He got smoked his last time out too, though. I mean, so I would be a little
Yeah.
concerned. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
but I read into it a
Cards are
little bit
10
less only
games out of
because
first. I can't take plus 50, plus 550. They're 10 games out. They're 27 and 41. That's a lot, man. It's not an impossible hole to climb out of, and you're only going to need like 84, 85 wins maybe to win that division.
Who do you reasonably think is going to win the division, and who do you think is the best price right now?
Like life on the line, I'd still probably pick Milwaukee, but who's the best prices? I would say Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Yeah,
they're fun to watch too.
They are fun to
Yeah,
watch.
their
I mean, they need to get
bats are
Lodolo back. They need Ashcraft to be back. Like they have the talent in terms of the pitching. The everyday roster is good. And again, you only need to get 82 or 83 wins. I mean, what would you guys say?
What happened to Ashcraft in that game? Because I had bet on it, but like I didn't have any sound on in the sports book.
Took a line drive off the foot or something, off the calf.
yeah.
He was already pitching pretty poorly the previous couple starts too.
Yeah, he was. He did not
Just
develop.
if we're talking about divisions real quick, as far as the AL East goes, I think I shared this in our group chat, but like the AL East is dominating everybody that's not in the AL East. If you see the AL East playing against another division in any way, any one of those teams, like I think they're winning at what, like a 70% clip against non-AL East opponents, all of them combined. So it does seem like pretty clearly the best division in baseball at this point.
Should we get to some awards here?
Yeah.
Ohtani's minus 220 to win the MVP. Unless he gets hurt, how is he not going to win it? Like Judge is hurt, Alvarez is hurt. Who could realistically steal this award if Ohtani's healthy? If he gets hurt, it's up to it's anybody's guess. I mean, I just don't see how anybody other than Ohtani wins it, barring an injury.
Wasn't Ohtani like plus 250 preseason anyway?
Yeah,
He was short. He was really short. It was like
short. Yeah.
It was absurd because I was like, oh, I'm gonna bet Ohtani preseason. I was like, no, not a chance.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. The guy hits 35 homers and has like a 2.5, 3 RA. I mean, he's going to have a short price. It took a ridiculous season from Judge last year at 60, whatever. What he finished with, 60 homers, 61 homers. 61. It took that kind of performance to steal the award. So, I mean, I get it. Anything Judge 10-1, Alvarez 22-1. They're both hurt. Rosarena 25-1, Simeon 25-1, Trout 30-1. Anything worth taking a flyer on?
It's such a tough market because I don't think it's this early in the season. I don't think it's worth laying that much juice, even for the guy that should win it, just because injury is a factor.
Yeah,
but it's also it's hard to make a case for the value you just said for the next four guys. It's hard to make a case. It's almost unbettable.
Yeah, and this wasn't an original thought. This is from watching this athletic series. Is they made a good point in like the Rays team, like you can't take one of their players because they're gonna split so many votes. It's like one night it's one guy, one night it's another guy, which like it's hard to bet. It's hard to bet when there's no one who I think has value to try to catch Ohtani. Like it's just unfair. Yeah. Like just let the guy be eligible for MVP or eligible for Cy Young. But as long as Ohtani's doing what Ohtani's doing, it's just like how can you not just keep betting him? Yep. Like he could, if he just keeps this up, he could just keep winning MVPs until he gets hurt.
Yep. Yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah. He wins me a lot of money. Like, I don't know all the exit velocity stuff, but if I see wind pointing out and Ohtani's playing, I bet him to hit a home run. His price is always like plus 250, plus 260. It's made me a lot of money. It's fun.
And the one concern would be the Angels fall out of it and he's going to be a free agent that they trade him to a National League team, but they're playing well enough where it's probably not going to happen. They're 7 games over, so you don't really worry about that too much right now either.
They got to do away with that, in my opinion. I mean, if he goes to another league, he keeps his stats. Like, what do we? They play each other at this point, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, what would you get? Like, if he plays the last 60 games for the Milwaukee Brewers, you're going to give him the American League MVP. I mean, I don't know. It makes it tricky.
Yeah, it does. I hate it.
But, I mean, it doesn't come up that often. It doesn't come up that often.
No, he's an anomaly, dude, for sure. But I mean, yeah, with Judge hurt at this point, and a Rosarena, like you said, they're just guys stealing votes from each other. Jordan, I thought was at decent price like a couple weeks ago, even 3 weeks ago, it was like 22 to whatever, but 22-1, still not there with it at this point right now.
Right.
Yeah.
How about this one? Home run leader. So most home runs in baseball. Schwarber's the short shot plus 480. Olsen's 5-1. Ohtani's plus 550. Judge is still plus 550, even though we don't know when he's going to be back. Alonso has the most, but again, he's out a few weeks. He's plus 650. Trout's 9-1. Tatis is 10-1. Soler is 17-1. Betts 20-1. Muncy 22-1. This is at FanDuel. The guy I like, well, I'll just let you guys hear what you guys think. Devers 29-1. Acuna 38-1. Garcia 65-1. Anything jump out when I read those prices?
Devers had 2 last night too, right? So he's up.
That's
too.
my guy, 29-1.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only
Devers.
a few back here. I mean, he's
What was
a few back.
Alonso?
Alonso is plus 650, and you don't know when he's going to be back. So to me, I mean,
he's on the 10-day. Seemed like he was going to come back.
I mean,
I have
it's
a
a 3 to
soft
4
spot
week
for Devers
injury.
too. I'm a big fan of Devers.
Yeah,
Me too.
I bet him to win the MVP last year. I think I bet him 2 years in a row, just because I always drop him in fantasy. So I want to root for my guys.
Let me see here what the official word is on Alonso, what we know, and then we can go from there. But plus 650, let's see. He fielded grounders the other day, less than a week. Perhaps he can return, but it's projected 3 to 4 week recovery. And he's already been out a couple weeks, so a couple more weeks, probably July.
Yeah, he could still come back with a lead, but probably not with Ohtani 2 behind him at this point.
Yeah, I don't think when he comes back he would have a lead. I mean, it's not impossible that he wins it, but again, in any sort of setback there, I don't want to take plus 650 with a guy that's on the shelf, even though he has a lead.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anything jump out to you guys?
I mean, I'm gonna look at Alonso and when he comes back, see what it's at.
Right.
Honestly, because like he was crushing. And he hit. I think there was like 6 games in a row. Then he got up to like 7 out of 10, etc. Like that he was hitting one. So I think there's something to be said for the fact that this Mets team sucks so bad without him in the middle of that lineup. And when he comes back, if he brings that kind of magic, that he kind of like rouses them in that way. So that would be what I would also be banking on.
Yeah,
Montgomery is pitching another terrible performance. I hate betting on that dude.
What do we got here? Yeah, 1-0 Cards. Wow, 1-0 Giants. Cardinals are losing. Giants have not.
2-0.
Nobody
now.
out. Yeah, bases.
Will, if it makes you feel better, I pulled a dumb move where you always get mad at me. We're not mad at me, but mad at the world. But I almost took the Giants team total at 1.5 for the first 5 at like minus 145, and the only reason I didn't want to pay the juice is because Montgomery always seems to screw me. You ever have like those guys that always seem like I fade them and it's like, this guy is Cy Young, and then when I back him, he looks like this. Yep. So I couldn't justify it, and watching this be the easiest cash of all time would have been is really annoying because
Snell was like that for me, and Aaron Nola was like that for me too.
Yeah, fun fact for anyone out there. I mean, can you guys? Another topic we can talk real quick is this Giants team. All of a sudden, they're mashing lefties. The first month,
you gotta ride the Giants when they're hot and then fade them when they're not.
Yeah,
like they're
the first
so
month,
streaky this year. It's bananas. Lamont Wade's about to hit a grand slam, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first month of the season, you could have just closed your eyes on the sports book when they played a lefty and just bet whoever it was, whether it was WillHill or anybody. If they were throwing left-handed, take the over in strikeouts, and all of a sudden they're like hitting 300 consistently against his like left-handed pitcher. It's crazy to watch.
They did that because I am left-handed and I did.
Oh, really? I knew you. Yeah.
And Matos
I knew that
too. That's right. Matos has been insane for this team in Sacramento and AAA for the Giants. So like it might be a good time to just continue to hit them going on a streak. Although maybe Lamont just hit into it. Nope, just went out. But either way, I just picked Lamont up too on fantasy as well, since I know everyone cares about my fantasy team so much. He's not rostered in like 40% of leagues, so you can still get him. He came back from injury.
And do we have a sleeper play to get to, or you already gave it, Brad?
I'll give it again, just so people can hear it real quick. I don't need to give another explanation, but it's Valdez under 18.5 strikeouts and Josiah Gray over 1.5 walks. It's times 2.5x.
All right. Brian, you mentioned before the show you like something in Cy Young. I'll just read the American League Cy Young odds. McClanahan 3-1, Cole 5-1, Valdez 6-1, Gossman 8-1, Ohtani 10-1, Joe Ryan 12-1, Luis Castillo 13-1, Eovaldi 13-1. What do you like?
I was gonna say I want to bring that up only because I'm actually a huge fan of Shane McClanahan, but I just always get so worried with cash and that team and load management, and this award, even though it's less than it has been in the past, but innings still matter. And like I think there's like some value in maybe like Eovaldi, who's been great, and same with Gausman. Where I just think you can get him 850-1 on DraftKings for Gausman, and I think he's been so good. He just had like one of his classic terrible starts that he went from like 5-1 to almost 9-1. That I think if you wanted to ride that, I think it's a fun bet because he's just been lights out. His velocity is absurd. His sinker his splitter looks like amazing right now. So I just think I'm not too scared after one bad start because come September that one start in June won't really matter as much.
And I think it was against the Twins. He gets right, and he gets destroyed by them somehow. He plays so poorly against the Twins that like you kind of just give those, even great pitchers, you give them that sort of like one outing against a team that just does historically well against them.
Would there be an appetite, you think, to give Ohtani both awards? He's 10-1 to win the Cy Young. Do you think they would give him both?
It's so tough because in sports we talk about all the time. They shouldn't work like that, but they kind of do. You know, like
why
shouldn't
can Giannis
be like
win the Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP in the same year? It's the same thing. Right?
I know. I know. I'm with you. It's just the same thing where I feel like there's always that weird stigma with it. So that's the only thing you have to break through.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me to not like, if the dude does this on both, you're going to punish him because no one else can do it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. He could do it better than everyone in both different ways. So he gets the award that dictates, that nominates the person for doing that. So I think there is some like staunchiness here. I think there's some sort of like old dusty baseball opinion that like this is something you don't do in a way, and I don't understand why. Maybe protection of Babe Ruth.
Anything else on baseball before we move on to golf? All right, U.S. Open tomorrow. Scheffler, the short shot, 6-1 at DraftKings to win this tournament. Rahm 9-1, Koepka 12-1, Rory 16-1, Cantley 16-1, Schauffele 18-1, Hovland 18-1, Terrell Hatton 28-1, Spieth.
Wow, Hatton got steamed all the way down to 28 from 45.
What was he?
45. Holy
he's
smoke.
Played well, and his
I'm on him.
Ball striking is incredible. Brad, I'll give you the floor here. Just give me a few minutes. What you like, outright first round lead or whatever, whichever way you want to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't play Tyrrell Hatton at 28-1, 45-1. Yeah, I'm on him. I got in at 40 just because I was stupid and didn't place my bet before I wrote my article. But let's just like talk about his game. He has 5 top 5 finishes in 3 months of golf. He's top 3 in strokes gained tee to green. At this course, it's going to be a lot of tee to green work. For those who don't know, there's a lot of spots on this course where you take driver off the tee, you're going to have to be very, very accurate where you hit it. Not necessarily just hitting the fairway, because you could leave yourself with blind shots. Then these greens are so tiny that it's a second shot golf course as well. So you want guys who are really strong tee to green, because you're going to miss greens. They're going to have to be around the green as well. So I went chalk. I went Scotty Scheffler at 7-1. I'm going to be very transparent. I also parlayed him, but I'm been giving those plays out a little bit less. I put those in the Discord, but out in public, it's really hard because someone will be like looking at your plays for 2 days later, and they're like, well, I can't parlay this leg. So I did take him straight as well. Scotty Scheffler, if you look over the last 36 rounds, he's gained more than double the second place guy in strokes gained tee to green, which is phenomenal. Scotty Scheffler is finishing top 5, top 3 while losing 5 strokes putting, 8 strokes putting. All he needs to do is like lose 1 stroke or break even putting, and he could win this by multiple strokes. I'm not the guy who I always try to fade the favorite, but this is very justified. Other guys I like Hovland. I bet him at a little more aggressive price, so I didn't give him out. I also like Hideki Matsuyama. Bet him at a more aggressive price. He's a great ball striker. He's actually top 3 in bogey avoidance. And then my favorite play is Tyrrell Hatton, top 20 plus 120 on BetMGM. First round leader you asked for. I like Wyndham Clark. I like Denny McCarthy. And then I like Victor Hovland.
I got Wyndham Clark. I wanted to ask you real quick about Scotty, because there's some pretty good there's some good bonus bet back stuff in terms of him, like top 10, top 20. There you might be able to get insurance on him top 10 as well, I think, with some of these bets that I was looking. What was I looking at? Barstool, if you have a book there, and then also Caesars has some pretty good golf stuff right now. So I like Scotty, I'm with you. Like I just don't know how you don't at least have him as one of your outright winners that you would pick. And the other guy I kind of like, honestly, is Cam Smith as well. I kind of like the way that he's been coming into this tournament and the way that this one shapes up for him to be able to drive the crap out of the ball, honestly.
I don't mind Cam Smith. I just not a big fan of Cam Smith.
I gotta leave. This is ridiculous.
Also, Strider's
getting his fucking ass kicked.
Yeah,
3 home runs.
0.
Eric Haas, they're picking. The guys are coming out of the stands hitting home runs against him. What the fuck is going on?
Take my money. Listen, I cashed out of my one of my Braves tickets to bet it on TFO to win in straight sets.
Holy shit! Money.
Thank God, or I would be livid because I have a unit and a half or 2 units on Braves tickets. I had 3. So, but yeah, no, I like Cam Smith, but not as much probably as other people. I'm just a believer that this course is going to take so much smart decision making off the tee, and Cam Smith just, he can drive. He has his good driving days, but I mean, he could put the crap out of the ball. So
and that's my thought process. You can drive and putt. Like everybody's going to be in a position where they're going to have to just eat a bogey at multiple times on this course. So if you're hitting it further, then you're hitting out of shit. But it's closer, because everyone's going to be in the crap. So that's part of the thought process. And it's 30.
No, I can dig it. I can dig it. I just couldn't take like anybody else who's like 8. I did like John Rahm at 12. And then that number got destroyed because you're getting John Rahm double digits. Let's just take a moment to talk about Strider. For anybody who has Strider, he could still get to 7Ks. So he already has 1. All he needs to do is strike out the side here.
He's not finishing his pitch as well. I don't know if he's hurt.
No,
I don't want to make excuses for the guy because he's getting his ass kicked. But I don't know if this is 2 starts in a row now.
He's gotten ahead of a lot of batters too.
Yeah, another batter he's ahead of. We'll see what happens.
He's throwing 96, but it's not like, I don't know. He's definitely he doesn't look himself. So that's why, like you said, it's so dangerous taking these futures, awards, Cy Youngs, especially anything with a pitcher.
In play, he's gonna get pulled. He just doubled being ahead again. He's gonna get pulled. RIP money.
Man,
that's crazy.
Son of a bitch.
It's not even batting practice. This is a home run derby. That's crazy.
I mean, this is not this is not the 27 Yankees either. This is the fucking Detroit Tigers. This is pissing me off. I'm going to ask you, Brad.
Will, you said it. Dog day, man. Dog day.
Oh,
you think they'll let me cash out this Braves ticket? They give me $8 for it.
They might laugh at you.
$8 on a $50 bet. I get $9 back.
Yeah. So just before we head out, I want to know that earlier today, FanDuel falsely had a bad line for Strider. They had a 7.5 strikeout was at -120, and 8 in a win was at +150.
Wow.
So this sucks. I really was like, dude, this is crazy. Like,
I didn't get that text, by the way.
Well, it was like,
did he just?
It was at 6 a.m. and it was up for like 3 minutes, and
he gave him another single.
Yeah, this is bad.
I'm gonna check Cy Young odds here because that might be the bet here. I don't know if they have NL Cy Young odds because he was the favorite. Is that another hit? What the hell was going on? That was more.
No, they don't have Cy Young on, not NL. Oh yeah, they do.
He was plus 220 before this game.
Yeah, now he's plus 390.
We talk about this. Talk about one bad start would ruin your Cy Young odds, but back to back against the Tigers. I mean, that's
wow. Gallen plus 230, Kershaw 4-1, Keller 10-1, Wheeler 18-1, Webb 12-1, Stroman 20-1, Burns 25-1. I don't know who the bet is. There's a bet somewhere though. I mean, Strider doesn't look right.
I'm getting ahead of Logan Webb. Like he's already been really consistent. He hasn't necessarily had like he's had quality starts. So because he's given up 3 runs a number of times, but like he's a tough pitcher to get a hit off of.
Man,
he's looked really good so far. At least in the last 10.
And then Detroit does something really stupid. They get thrown out at second base off a hit. You got this guy in the ropes, 4-0. You have first and third one out. The guy McKistry tries to go to second and he gets tagged out and gives the Braves a total pass. This was about to be 5-0. So I don't know. I mean, the Braves have the offense to come back here, but Strider looks terrible. I wanted to ask you though, Brad, before we get out of here, Scheffler 18-1 first round leader. Like I don't want to lay 6-1 on a golf outright tournament but to me, 18-1 if he putts well, is that not a good price to just he can be leading after Thursday?
I'd prefer John Rahm over Scotty. Scotty doesn't do anything like exceptionally well. Like he never has that one round that is super low. He just chunks away 65, 65, 65, and very good at coming from behind. I'm not a big Scotty first round leader guy, just because of the way he plays golf.
How about a real bomb? Somebody 100-1. I know we were talking off the air about Thigala. He's from California. Went to Pepperdine.
Outright or
in LA. Either one.
Yeah, I have a couple bombs that I like. I took Eric Cole. I've been on Eric Cole now.
200-1, 250-1. You know who has great numbers is Circa has great numbers, like double the market in some of these guys. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've been on him quite a while. I think Wyndham Clark's good at 100-1. There was one more guy. I think he was 200-1. Who was it? I could literally just open up, look at my bets.
I've seen a few people like Mito Pereira. He's a guy who screwed me last year at the PGA Championship, but he's played well.
I went Denny McCarthy 150-1.
What last one before we go? What do you think? Like winning score? Is there a value over under? You have those props. What will be the winning score? What will be the cut line?
I think the winning score is pretty accurate. I think I saw 7.5. I thought that it would be like 6-8, which was really frustrating. Because why would like that before I saw the number, like I text my boys like this is gonna be 6-8, and then Vegas comes out with 7.5. Like that never happens, you know? Like I don't know what the cut line is gonna be. It's because this course is gonna be, I think it's gonna be a lot like Oak Hill, where we can see those guys at the top do really well because they've had a bogey free round or two, and they've avoided doubles. But there's gonna be a lot of guys in the middle of the pack who are gonna go birdie, par, triple, birdie, bogey. You know, so it's gonna be because there's some gettable holes out there, but then there's some holes that you don't want any part of.
All right, boys. I think that'll do it. This is our first show without basketball. What do we think? We should give ourselves a grade for every show after every show. I didn't think the show was terrible, right?
No, I mean the only down part of this show was Spencer Strider.
Oh, I thought you were going to say when my sound came back.
No, I enjoyed talking with you, Will.
That would have been the line. That would have been the line.
No, I'm not going to put you down. You have enough going on. I mean,
Will,
yeah.
I just want to say this. You said we should parlay all the dogs. Yeah. All the dogs are winning.
Yeah, I mean, we say things all the time that we and usually when I say something, I bet it. But I mean, that was I mean, it surprised me. This surprised me with Strider. I mean, he's getting rocked.
Listen, Strider has 2 outs. I mean, 2 strikeouts. We just need the Braves to come alive.
He's got to have a lot of pitches, though, right?
I think he's at like 38 or 40. Wow. 36? That's not
36.
terrible.
Yeah. It's not that many. Wow.
I guess the thing that gets like one of the things with baseball that's so annoying is that you have a guy like Strider who's just so, I mean, he's still like, even with this, he's just so good. I think I counted. I think he has 8 whiffs already. Like it sucks when you're getting like a lot of whiffs, but they're not translating to actually good things. He gets ahead of counts every single time here, and he's just getting beat.
Baseball, of all the sports, there's the fewest amount of runs, points scored. So like say there's 2 guys on base and you hit a fly ball, like if it goes over the wall, it's 3 runs, and that's like most of the runs for the game. And if it gets caught at the wall, it's no run. So there's just a very thin line, which you could say for all the sports, but like basketball, all right, 1 shot goes in or out, there's 100 something points in every game. Baseball, it's just like there are very thin lines. But yeah, he's getting whacked a little bit.
I kind of want to bet the Twins live. What's the line?
Probably a little plus 130, 140 down a couple runs.
Plus 120.
Yeah.
What is it, 2-0 going into the bottom of the first?
Yeah, second. I'm gonna put a half a unit on it.
Kind of like Milwaukee at that price. Who's pitching for Milwaukee?
Rhea.
Yeah.
Oh dang! I missed out. The line changed.
What is it now?
Plus 115.
Yeah.
And my bet's thinking about. I swear to God.
Down 2-0. Do they have men on base? They got a man on first.
Oh, they let me bet it at a higher number. That never happens.
Plus 125 DK.
Wow, that never happens. Wow. What?
Yeah, all the dogs are winning.
Normally they're like bet and Valor, or they make you take it the lower number.
Yeah, always.
All right, boys. Appreciate it. Pick It Sports,
guys.
Sleeper Picks. We'll be back tomorrow, 1:00 Eastern, do a little more of the same. Eventually, we're going to start getting into some football, but tomorrow we'll have US Open to get into.
Sooner than later.
Sooner than later, yeah. We got. I've already been making bets, so we'll definitely spend some time on football soon. So thank you for listening. Thank you to Sleeper Picks, Pick It Sports, Goldboys. See you tomorrow. Good luck with all your plays.
See you guys.